Hey everybody, welcome back again to the MCE Off-Road Garage. If you're not familiar with what we do here at MCE Off-Road, head over to our main homepage on YouTube and we have an overview video of what we do and what we offer for the Can-Am off-road product. Today, we're going to be going through on this Can-Am Defender Limited how to tune using your Evolution Powersports Map Tuner X. And we're also going to be installing a clutch kit from Cluch. First, we're going to go through the overview of the products, kind of how to use them, what they do, benefits, and then we're going to go ahead and start the installation process. Follow along. All right, so now we're over here at one of the workbenches. You can see we have everything kind of laid out here. Map tuner, going to come with cord that plugs into your computer. When you purchase these, you are going to have to select. They have a couple different options for machines. So you can get one for Polaris. Obviously, you need the one for Can-Am. So this is the Can-Am plug. It's just going to plug right into the diagnosis port underneath the hood. Here with the clutch kit, you're going to have adjustable weights, non-adjustable weights. I have this guide here as far as adjustable weights go in these locations, non-adjustable. We'll show you that when we do the actual installation. So then what are the benefits of doing a tune and clutch kit on your Can-Am Defender? Starting with the clutch kit, these weights, how they're designed, how the profile is designed, where to ride. What that ultimately ends up doing is it's going to give you better belt grip without having to put so much throttle into it. Your transitions from start to stop are going to be a lot smoother. You may notice, like when you try to go to back your machine up and you get low RPMs, kind of get that jerkiness. This kit, you're not going to have that jerkiness anymore. You all eliminated. All right, moving on to the tuner itself. Tuner is going to come with a cord to connect to your computer. In our case, we have the diagnostic port Can-Am plug. These you have to buy separate. They also make the Polaris one. Some other different options. But for the tune itself, biggest things tune's going to do is it's going to raise the rev limiters high and low gear. The throttle response is going to be a lot better. On these machines, it's kind of a fly-by-wire throttle. When you put your foot all the way down to the floor, the throttle body is not opening up all the way stock. It does have a lag to it. Their tune, the Evolution Powersport tunes, are going to fix all the stage tunes, standard tunes that they offer. They all run 91 octane premium fuel. They're all tuned for that. Engine cooling is going to be a lot better. Fan is going to turn on a little bit sooner than factory. What it's also going to do is it's going to allow you to put the power in the correct RPM range for where you want it. You pair it with a tuner. The tuner is going to do certain things and the clutch kit is going to do certain. But in order to get the most benefit out of either of these, it's best to pair them together. And the other thing that this is going to do for you is the speed limiters are going to be raised for both high and low gear. So that's where if you do just the tune, you get more RPM out of it, you get the higher limits, but your clutch still isn't going to be able to react the way it needs to accommodate for those improvements. So that's the reason why we do clutch kit, tuner together. Best way to go. So we'll go over to the installation process, get you put power down. All right, so here we are. Wanted to do a baseline video
before we did any of the clutching or tuning on it. What we're gonna do, I drove around, got it up to operating temperature. Everything's warm, ready to go. We're gonna go from high gear. None of the AC controls or none of the AC, all that's off. We're just gonna go ahead and take off, see where our RPMs sit and what our pickup is, and then we will compare that to what we'll get once we get the clutch kit and the tune done. So here we go. So there was the pickup. You saw it kind of sat right at that 5,700 RPMs there for a while, and then finally picked up after that. Assuming that's limited by the throttle body and the power in the ECU, that it would make that transition. But we'll go ahead and do the install, and we'll do another comparison video after that. Alright, so now we're back in the shop here after that initial test run for our baseline. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start working on loading and installing the tune. We got our Map Tuner X here. When you purchase the Map Tuner X, you're going to purchase this separate, your cord separate, and the tune separate. It's best to purchase all of them at the same time, so that way you get all the licensing and all that taken care of in one shot. So what we're going to do is your diagnostic port is right here. You're going to push down on this tab, pull this out, and you're going to go ahead and plug your map tuner into the diagnostic. And then you're going to go around and turn the key into the on position, so that way you can read the VIN and all that fun stuff. Now from this point, you're going to want to go to add vehicle. Yep, good to go there. Does its checking. It's got the vehicle. Yes, we wish to add it. Everything's good there. Press OK. Now we gotta take it over to the computer, plug it in to put the actual tune in it. Alright, so now we have the Map Tuner software is open. Map Tuner's plugged into the desktop there. Sometimes when you order a tune from Evo, you have to call and verify your license code before it'll synchronize automatically. Sometimes when you get it, it'll come on an invoice with that license code. If you do it that way, you can claim the license code here. You can enter or manually enter that information, but our version's already in our account, so we're just going to synchronize. We're going to say Map Tuner X. Going to pick the proper VIN. We have multiple vehicles in there as we keep doing more tunes, so there'll always be a running list of all those VIN numbers for all the vehicles we've done. And then it's basically just going to write the tunes onto that Map Tuner X. So now it's gone through all the uploading. Your computer might make a couple disconnect, reconnect beeps as it's doing its updates, but once it says done, you may disconnect your Map Tuner now. You can go ahead and close and then disconnect the Map Tuner, and we will take it back over to the machine. Alright, back over at the machine, plugged back in the diagnostic with the key in the on position. The machine is off, but the key's in the on position. We're going to go into programming. And then from there, then you'll have your different options of what you want to pick. You'll have to reference Evolution Powersports, their website, to go through. Based on your vehicle, it's going to be a little bit different on what each stage does. It's going to be completely up to you on which one you want to do. It's your preference. But for this one, we're going to go stage 2 and hit next. Go ahead and say download. You wish to program this vehicle? Yes. Key is in the switch on. Okay. And then this is going to go ahead and upload that new tune into the ECU. What this is going to do during this process, it's going to shut down the main power, turn it back on. So there'll be a couple different clicks and such that the machine does as it's doing this update. All right, when everything's completed, your headlights and such will turn back on. You'll hear your fuel pump kick back on. Go ahead and hit next. It's going to take you to the home page here, and then that's it. We're completed on this part. We're going to go ahead and unplug this, turn the key off, put our diagnostic port back in the holder up here, and then we are going to start installing the clutch kit. All right, so first thing you're going to do, tip your bed up. And then we are going to go ahead, remove this little guard panel right here. There's a push pin there. There are 1, 2, 3 push pins along the side, and then there is one up underneath. That's gonna help us get better access. Just be able to see what we're doing a lot better to get the clutch cover off. So to remove these, we have push pin pliers. Pull it on there, pull the center part out. If you don't have push pin pliers, you can always just use a flathead screwdriver. Get in one of those spots, work it out on each side. But we have the right tools, so you just pull the center out like that, take the rest of it. And you want to do that to 4 other push pins. Now with that panel out of the way, you can see we have much more visibility to what's going on here. So what you're going to want to do next is pull the 11 clutch cover bolts off. They're these silver ones around the outside. It's either going to be, you can use a T30 Torx on the inside, or you can use a 8mm socket to pull those bolts out of there. All right, now with the 11 bolts removed, cover taken off, we're going to go ahead and take our belt off. We have this belt tool here. There's a lot of different options. This is the one that we sell. You're going to want to thread that onto the secondary. This spacer ring you want in between the tool. Now that we got to thread it on there, all you got to do is just pull this handle out towards you, and that will open up the secondary sheaves, and that will allow you to get enough slack in here to roll this belt off. Once you have the belt off, now we'll go ahead and we'll remove the primary bolt using our impact. It's a 22mm socket. So come out, turn the bolt out of. It's not just going to slide out all the way. Now you're going to use your Can-Am clutch puller. Thread that all the way in by hand until it stops. So right there. And then you want to go tighten that puller until the clutch pops off. That. Take it up a little bit. And at that point, pull your primary off, and then we'll remove the puller from the primary itself. All right, so now we got the primary off. We're over at the workbench. When I initially showed you guys this kit, none of the set screws were installed or anything. When you receive your kit, it will have a baseline set up of set screws already in it based on your selection of tire size and all that. All the set screws get blue Loctited in, make sure that they're not going to come out and damage your clutch or destroy anything that way. Also, one thing you want to look at is in this kit here, we opened it up, one of these little spacer bushings had come out, so just want to make sure all those are in all your weights. So then basically what we did here is we just took a crowbar here lightly, just kind of push the sheaves apart, and then we just wedge the screwdriver handle in there just to hold this apart, so that way you can actually get in here and pull these out, put the new ones in, makes things easier. So you're going to want to follow the guide that is supplied with your clutch kit. The ADJ is adjustment weight. That's the one with the set screws in it. The non-adjustment is the ones that just have through holes. There's no threads. It's just a through hole. So it doesn't matter which one you really start on the clutch. Just as long as you go, follow it around. If you're going to go non-adjustment, then adjustment, adjustment, non-adjustment, adjustment, adjustment. You're going to work your way around that way. But then at this point, you're going to want to remove the through bolt that holds the weights in. So you're going to use this T25. I use hand tools on these, just personal preference, so that way I'm not stripping anything out or putting added pressure on it for no reason. So you're just gonna remove that nut and then slide this bolt out. Alright, so we got our nut off, slide the bolt, pull the weight out, and then you can see our two spacers. Make sure you take those, get those out of the way. We're gonna start off with a non-adjustment one. Start the bolt, put a spacer on it. Then with two hands, you're gonna put this weight in there, push the bolt through until you're just about through to the other side of the weight, and then you're gonna put that other spacer in there and then slide the bolt through all of them. So now you can see here, there's the threads. Just gonna keep backing that off a little bit at a time. So it's not touching anymore. Put that in there. Slide it in place. Just work your bolt through. Snug this up by hand. Alright, so at this point we got all our bolts in there. Just be patient when you're pushing the bolt through. This is a shoulder bolt, so number one, the shoulder sometimes gets caught on the edge of the spacer. You're just gonna have to kind of work it up and down while pushing that and kind of turning it to get it to actually find its way through the hole. Second part of it being a shoulder bolt is you don't need to go crazy tight on these bolts. As soon as it hits the shoulder, give it a little snug and you're good to go. Otherwise, you're just going to end up stripping it and causing more problems. I'm going to go ahead and put my crowbar back in here, close the clutch up, pull the screwdriver out. These weights, I don't know, if you're doing this at home, you can put them on a necklace like a shark tooth or something. I don't know, whatever you guys do with your parts, wall of shame, whatever you want to do. But this is a customer's machine here in the shop. So we'll get that taken care of and head it back over to the machine. All right, now we're back over at the machine here. I do want to note, while this is all apart, it's a real good time to go ahead and take your air hose, blow all the belt dust and all the dirt and everything out of these clutches. Also, it's a good time to inspect your belt, look for any glazing or hard spots or any little chips or dings in it. If anything looks questionable, most likely it's questionable. So just want to inspect everything. Why not? You have it open. Make sure all your rollers are good on your secondary. Make sure there's not flat spots on them, or if they're broken altogether or missing. I've seen that too. So just take a look at that. Now we put our primary back on the crankshaft. Go ahead and take our clutch bolt. We got to thread that back in through that first part of the threads that the clutch puller utilizes. And then you're going to want to go ahead and grab your torque wrench. You're going to torque this down to 89 foot-pounds. There's a couple different ways to hold the primary in place. Obviously, the recommended way would be to use the OEM clutch holder. Generally, I just end up getting something wedged in there to hold it in place while I tighten that. But yeah, suggested would be the proper tooling supplied by Can-Am. So I'll get this tightened up, put our belt back on, reference your rotation. General rule of thumb is if you can read the letters, that's the way it goes on. All right, now we got our belt on, clutch tools out of the way. You'll notice that the belt is sitting down in the sheaves, not allowing the secondary to close all the way. So what you want to do, you just want to give this thing a few spins. You can see that belt will start raising up on the sheaves. Once your belt's up in the proper location, then you can go ahead and put your cover back on. You put those 11 bolts back in the clutch cover. Put that wheel guard back on using those push pins that you took out. And then we're gonna go ahead and after that, take her back out, show you the difference. All right, so here we are back in the machine after the tune and clutch kit install. Got it running back up to operating temperature again. We're on the same patch of trail that we were on before for the previous. So that way we're on the same baseline, same day, same temperature, same everything. So here we go. A second here. Wait for a crossing. All right. As you can see, that didn't go up to the 5700 and then kind of hold there and do all that nonsense. It just went right to 67, holds and builds and keeps pulling. That's what we want to see. That's going to be your better belt tension, just everything smoother, everything the way it really should be, in my opinion. Other than that, if this is something you want installed, you can certainly give us a call. Otherwise, the clutch kits are available on our website, or you can purchase them direct from Quad Shop Customs as well. If you need any custom setup for big lifts or anything like that, they can get you taken care of. Tunes, you contact either us to purchase the components, or you can also buy those direct straight from Evolution Powersports. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos, go ahead and subscribe. See you guys later.